Hi, it's Miss Amos here, just here to talk you through some information for Year 7 parents. The PowerPoint is going to talk you through what we do in Year 7 for English with regards to oracy, so that's speaking and listening, and reading and writing, and how you can help then your child at home. In Year 7, your child will study 6 schemes of learning, 1 per half term. These are units of work that are linked to different themes, trying to make the schemes as engaging as possible for your children. They will be assessed formally twice for reading, twice for writing, and then 2 oracy focus assessments throughout the year. Within the schemes of learning, we cover a range of fiction and non-fiction text in preparation for the pupils to study their GCSE English language and English literature in Year 10 and Year 11. The aim is to cover all aspects of the national curriculum within the Year 7 schemes of work and aiming to deliver a broad range of skills that can be developed in preparation for when the students sit their exams in Key Stage 4. Outside of the English lessons, the pupils have weekly accelerated reader lessons, which you will learn more about during this presentation. As I mentioned on the previous slide, pupils will be assessed on a half-termly basis, assessing their reading, writing and oracy skills. Within the faculty, we would use these assessments to have termly set-in reviews, so we have a fluid movement of pupils between sets, so they're not stuck in one set for the whole year. There is movement throughout the year to ensure pupils are all in the right classes. We also have fortnightly spelling homeworks that are set on class charts. We have fortnightly writing challenges with the aim to develop their writing stamina and their writing skills in preparation for GCSE English language. They have regular accelerated reader online testing to gauge any improvements in their reading ages, and they also have the formal national reading test, which will be sat twice while they're in Year 7. A little bit more information now then about the national reading test that I mentioned on the previous slide. The national reading test is a new online testing system where the pupils will have 2 attempts to take this test. They'll take it once, and then the second attempt then will gauge any improvements between the first and the second. All pupils will be tested for this within school on the school computers using the online testing system, and the results will be sent home to parents. Just some information now that now you can help your child at home with a focus firstly on encouraging reading for pleasure. Encouraging reading for pleasure has proven to be the strongest indicator of the future success of children and young people. An ability to read with understanding is essential to enable effective learning, achievement and success in school and beyond. And this isn't specific to English. If pupils can read well, then they'll be able to improve and progress throughout every subject they are learning in school. Every hour spent reading is an hour spent learning to write. If pupils can read well, they'll be able to write well, they'll be able to speak well. 3 essential skills that they're going to need in their lives. How can you help your child with their reading at home? Firstly then, talk to your child about what they're reading. Now you're going to find out on the next few slides a bit more about the accelerated reader sessions that we deliver in school. Now they're reading a book every week, so asking them about what they're reading, encourage them to think about that book and challenge what they have read would be really useful. They also don't just have to read books, they can read online as well, online articles, research websites, anything at all that they're interested in as long as they're reading. Encourage your child to use the local library. Keep your child up to date with any news coverage. That would be an interesting way to get them reading. Encourage your child to research various topics using newspaper websites or the BBC website. Encouraging them to write book reviews about books that they've read and keep a reading log so they can see how much they are progressing. Lastly then, be a role model reader yourselves. Reading in Year 7 then, what happens in school. So I've already mentioned our timetabled accelerated reader sessions that happen every week, where pupils are encouraged to read for pleasure while progressing with their reading levels. Now these sessions happen aside of their timetabled English sessions with their teacher. Within the accelerated reader lessons, individual reading takes place as well as activities and book quizzes. Within our schemes of learning in the English department, we also offer opportunities to read a whole class novel together throughout the year, and we also encourage pupils to bring in their own reading books. Now, on the next few slides, you're going to hear from Mr. Warren, who leads our accelerated reading. He's going to give you some more information about that programme.
Hi, it's Mr. Warren here, and I'm going to be talking to you about the benefits of reading regularly and why it's important for your child to do so. Reading is a skill for life and has a huge impact on the opportunities and experiences available to your child. A positive relationship with reading and a good reading habit will benefit your child. Even confident readers will benefit from the vocabulary boost that 30 minutes of daily reading will provide. That's why we're investing in the Accelerated Reader Programme, our library, and our Reading Intervention Programme. So, what is it? Accelerated Reader has two components, the STAR test and book quizzes. The STAR test measures your child's reading age. Your child will complete 3 STAR tests a year to monitor their progress. We will let you know how they do at several points in the year, and we'll monitor who needs extra support. As well as that, we also have the AR quizzes. Now, there are thousands of books and quizzes for your child to read and take. They'll have a wide selection in the library to choose from. The purpose is to check how much they've understood. As well as checking for understanding, the quizzes also help us to check how much they are reading. They should be aiming for at least 30 minutes of reading a day. How will it work? Your child will have 2 AR lessons in the 2-week cycle. In these sessions, they will complete comprehension and vocabulary activities, read, quiz, take their STAR tests, and access any interventions that they need. Now, the comprehension and vocabulary activities will be to support the entire curriculum, not just English. Year 7 pupils will be reading for an additional 15 to 20 minutes in their English lessons. When our library is up and running, pupils will also have more choice, but also more responsibility. Now, I say more responsibility because we intend to allow pupils to take their books home at a later date, and this will be rolled out on a trial basis in the coming months. So, how can you help us? You can help us by helping them to develop a strong reading habit. Maybe assigning a certain time in the evening where they sit and read for 30 minutes. They'll need to do this at home as well as in school if they are to achieve their 25-minute daily average. It's also great if you can speak to your child about what they're reading. If you show an interest, they're more likely to stick with it. Now, some pupils won't want to do this, but reading with them can also be a great way to help them progress, particularly if they are not as confident with their reading. It's also great if you can be a good role model, letting them see you reading. It would also help us greatly if you could remind them that their STAR tests are really important, because these are what decides their reading age, which is the age that we report back to you. So it's really important that they see those tests as an important test like any other test. And then finally, reminding them to respect the books and the library, because whilst we're investing in them, we're also investing in future generations of pupils at Pontypridd High. I hope this has cleared some things up about the Accelerated Reader Programme for you. Thank you very much.
Moving on to writing now then. How do we improve writing in school? Now, in the GCSE English language exam, 50% of the marks available for writing are for their written accuracy. So they will be marked on their spelling, their punctuation and their grammar. So it's really important that we make this a focus from as young as year 7 in order to prepare the pupils to be able to succeed in this part of the exam by the time they reach year 10 and year 11. We have something in the English department called our non-negotiables, the 4 areas of written accuracy that we expect pupils to be able to get right within their writing and to be able to focus on and improve as soon as they come into year 7. So these 4 areas are capital letters, full stops, paragraphs and commas. Now, if pupils can master these 4 different skills, then they are on the road to achieving their C grade at GCSE by the time they reach year 10. Now, I know there are departments across the school that are also taking on this approach to help improve writing across the school as well as in the English department. So it's really important that pupils know that this is going to be a focus of their writing when they come into us in year 7. Speaking and listening is the last skill then that gets assessed within year 7 and throughout the school. Now, oracy is embedded into every scheme of learning within the English department. And when they reach year 10 and year 11, this is going to be worth 20% of their English language GCSE. So it's incredibly important that they aim to try and improve and progress with their oracy from as young as year 7 in order to be able to get the results then that they deserve by the time they reach year 10. Pupils are given specific tasks throughout year 7, 8 and 9, which include paid and group discussions. They're given the opportunity to present, so to deliver presentations. They also develop their questioning techniques and they're using effective listening skills, all in order to prepare them to have a go at the GCSE in year 10, but also to develop this lifelong skill of being able to speak well and listen well. Now on to the enrichment opportunities then that are offered within the English department. Now these are the types of events that we try to get involved in usually. Obviously this year is slightly different with the situation with COVID-19. At the moment we would be unable to organise any trips, but obviously we would hope that this situation will change in the future. So the events that the English department usually participate in then are writing competitions where pupils get to write short stories and poems for a company called the Young Writers, and they get to have their work published in a book. We also attend an event called the Scribblers event at Swansea University, where pupils get to visit and hear authors speak and get to buy their books. We also go to the Hay Festival, which is a lovely event and always something that's incredibly popular with the students, and that happens during May time. And then obviously opportunities to visit the theatre, which is again another popular trip. So obviously we would hope to run things like this within the English department in the future. If you have any questions about anything that you have heard in this presentation, then please get in touch. I'm Miss Amos, I'm the head of the English department, and my email address is there for you. And if you have any questions about Accelerated Reader, then please contact Mr. Warren, and his email address is there for you as well.
Hello, this is Mr. Astley, head of the mathematics faculty speaking. Sorry we can't meet in person, but I will run through a few of the frequently asked questions that I usually get each year. In year 7, pupils receive 8 hours of maths, which encompasses numeracy per fortnight. They're loosely set by prior attainment, although classes can change throughout the year. As you will see from the diagram, these are the topics or branches of mathematics that will be covered throughout the year at various different times. Depending on the class, the level will vary. For example, a top class may look at order of operations or area of trapezia when studying multiplying, whilst the lower class may focus on multiples and factors. Throughout the year, pupils will sit class tests after each unit of work. In class, they will also sit a weekly numeracy test. Traditionally, or certainly over the last few years, pupils have also sat national tests covering procedural numeracy skills and reasoning skills. The procedural skills last year moved online, whilst the reasoning was still on paper. We still await guidance from the Welsh Government on whether or not these will take place this year. If they do, as in previous years, I would imagine it will be in the summer term. You will of course be informed when we know any more information on these. How can I support my child? Firstly, my advice would be for all pupils in year 7 to become proficient with their times tables. Knowing these very well makes many topics students encounter for the next 5 years much easier to grasp and master. I would also like to point you in the direction of MathsWatch. Primarily, we have used this as a homework tool, although the site can be used at any time. Each student has a login, and when logged in you will find a screen similar to the picture you can see. Under the My Work tab, pupils can see any homework that has been set for them. But if you click on Videos, you can view tuition videos and attempt practice questions on the spectrum of Key Stage 3 maths topics.
Hello and welcome to the information from the Science Department about what Year 7 pupils do in science at Pontypridd High School. So what will your child learn in Year 7? All Year 7 classes start with an introductory topic on safety. During this topic we cover the lab safety rules, how to use basic lab equipment and how to use the literacy and numeracy skills in science lessons. During the course of Year 7, your child will complete 2 biology, 2 chemistry and 2 physics topics. The biology topics are cells, where we look at animal and plant cells and how they build together to make whole organisms. The second topic is adaptations. We look specifically at different animals and where they live and how they are adapted or how they have changed during evolution to survive their environment. The chemistry topics are elements, compounds and mixtures, where we look at elements in their atomic form. We look at how they can join together in compounds or how they can mix together in mixtures and how this changes their properties. And then acids and alkalis, where we look at the pH scale and what makes something an acid and what makes something an alkali. The physics topics that they will complete are electrical circuits, so we will look at how current flows around a circuit and measuring the amps and the voltage. We will look at this in series and parallel circuits, and they will look at energy and forces. So what the different types of energy, how that can be transformed into different forms, and the forces that act on an object. So how will your child be assessed in Year 7? So in all of their lessons, your child will be informally assessed using questioning from the teacher. They will also practice their skills and they will practice past paper questions that are relevant to the topic that they are currently learning. Your child will also be assessed using skills assessments. There are 14 scientific skills that they will be assessed on throughout their lessons and on assessment. These include skills such as predictions, variables, writing plans, observing in an experiment, making changes to a method, concluding and evaluating. They will also be assessed on the numerical skills such as graph skills, percentages, and on their literacy skills, so their ability to write in full sentences with correct spelling, punctuation and grammar. They will also have a content test at the end of every single topic. This will be made up of past paper questions, so the pupils are prepared for sitting GCSE exams. The topic tests will be marked and a grade will be given at the end of each topic, along with a tick and a target, so the pupils know what they have done well and where they need to improve the next time. If you have any questions regarding science in Year 7, please do not hesitate to contact me. My name is Mrs. Stockman. I am the Head of Science and my email is on the slide. Thank you.